How to prevent your leg from swinging back. I do have some photos of that as well. Just let me get straightened out here. So do you think this rider's leg is swinging back?
I think this rider's leg is following her upper body. And so again, if she could, again, we also don't know how hard this horse pushes off the ground. And maybe she needs to get that far up there to be with it in another 5 seconds. But it's more of her leg is going opposite of her upper body, in my opinion. It looks like her chin is almost hitting the mane. So if she could have slowed her hip angle down, then her leg might not be that far back. But like I said, it looks like a jumper, and it's possible that this thing fires off the ground like Shamu coming out of the water. And she just needs to be in that position not to get jumped out of the tack. So it's hard to tell on a picture. I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt. How's that? But I would love to see her a little less bent over in her upper body, which should make her lower leg be less far back.
Okay, so where would you... Go ahead, Patricia.
Laura and I talk a lot about having some space between your chest and the horse's neck, and just not having the upper body laying on the horse's neck.
Correct. You know, and we also don't know, it's hard to tell. He doesn't look like he's running in a jump off or something, but if you're going Mach 90, things happen a little faster. But still, controlling your body is always an important part.
You know, something that concerns me a little are those polo wraps. They're really not put on correctly.
Yeah, they're all the way down. They look like traveling stable wrap. This is her hip angle.
Right.
Right.
It's very pinched.
Very pinched. So, but again, if she were to bring the distance between her shoulders and her hands gets bigger, get her hip angle here.
Right. Then you can change the angle of her knee, and it'll come.
And then her leg hopefully will come here. This is where we'd like to see her leg.
Correct. It's got to move a little bit, but yet it's,
And it could be that, as you say, it could be the timing that the photo was taken. It was just that split second when the picture got caught, right? So
right.
Maybe the next frame is she's not there. Who knows?
It's true. Pictures are tricky.
Yeah. So if this person came to you for a clinic riding lesson, what would you do to have this rider to help prevent her leg, or another rider that came to you? How do you prevent your leg from swinging back when you go over fences?
Well, it's going back to the basics and having a great support when you're hacking, making sure her legs are strong and smooth and tight so she can ride without stirrups. Riding without stirrups is a great exercise. I don't think people on their own practice it enough. And then doing the pulls on the ground with 2 point straight up, 2 point straight up, so she can learn to feel how to control her hip. Simple, but a lot of changing your habit is just repetition of the same boring good habit.
Correctly, doing it correctly though.
Yep.
Right. Repetition of the correct thing.
Correct.
We don't want her repeating the bad thing.
Habits. Yeah.
Right. And if it feels good, it's probably a bad habit.
So what about this rider?
Her not enough weight down in her leg at all.
Yeah, and her stirrup is home.
And her stirrup is very long. It almost, it's like a cross country saddle, but anyway, it's very long stirrups, so she can't get the weight down through her heel, so she's using, to me, it looks like her knee to kind of hold herself on.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
So yeah, I would have to see the length of stirrup and how she sits in her saddle and all of that. But I think if she could change the weight down through her lower leg, would change everything for her.
But this is another rider with leg swinging back. Is this the same root problem as this rider, or do they have the same problem? Leg swinging back?
Well, they have a positional difference that's huge, and it's controlling your hip angle and your controlling your lower leg and being able to balance yourself over the balance of the horse. So all in all, they have the same issue of body control. This girl just might need some tack changing to help her get a better position, like shorten her stirrups possibly.
I agree. And I think the big thing is having that stirrup on the ball of your foot. You know, when it gets home next to the heel like that, it's impossible to flex your ankle.
Right.
Yeah, so I think this rider would definitely benefit from your Paisley position where she stands up in the saddle. For me, I would certainly do 2-point, 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 2-point,
Right.
get that weight down into the heel and get some educated feel of the leg so that the leg weight comes down here. And like you say, Patricia, he's got to get the stirrup on the ball of the foot. And then again, same as the other rider, have the seat closer to the saddle and more distance between the chest and your hands. I mean, I like this where the reins are floppy. She's not interfering, which is really nice.
Right.
But there are some definite basics of getting the weight down into your heel that needs to be addressed, I think, for this rider. And that's the 2-point and 2-point over the poles before heading out over jumps.
Right.
I find when riders' legs slip back over the fences, it's usually because they're pinching with the knee.
Definite pinch here for sure.
That makes both these riders are really, and that makes the lower leg come off the horse's side and slip back.
You know, I've got a picture of that. Just give me a second here. And I think this is again.
Sorry. I want to add something when you're teaching adults. Sometimes the perfect position for equitation is not what their body can actually do. So I do believe that adults need to get correctly balanced, but you might not have your heel as far down as everyone else, but yet you're effective. And it's learning to teach the person to be as effective with themselves as they know how.
Because body conformation has a lot to do with their position and their equitation. You know, there's some things that you're limited by your conformation of your body.
Right, or your arthritis in your knees or whatever.
Right.
Spin the wheel, whatever joint you have going there. So, Jenny, I think this is another one of your pictures. I don't know if you reckon. Yeah.
Yes,
so
how I like to see the foot in the stirrup. I like to see the foot in the middle to the inside of the stirrup, so your boot might touch that inside bar just a little bit. And I like to see the weight coming down through your ankle and relaxing to the inside. Versus I know some very famous people teach putting all the weight to the outside of your foot. But to me, that pushes your lower leg away from the side. So if your leg can just bend toward the side and rest there, your gas pedal is easier to use than when you've got your weight to the outside of your foot and you can't reach the horse.
So you like your weight there.
Yeah. Yes. And like if you were, you'd almost let you, I was trying to show you, if you were standing next to me, the bottom of my shoe, just a tiny bit. So I call it cocking my ankle just a little bit. Yes. Because then your leg goes straight down the horse's side.
Like that?
Like that. And then you can use it as you wish.
That's to help get. So if this rider had, so this is a leg on the horse?
No, this is standing there. I mean, obviously the lower leg, he's just standing there.
Okay.
But I just wanted to get the little example of a slight cocking of that ankle toward the inside.
Okay.
Because you don't want your toes to fly out. But if you let the weight sink down the inside of your ankle and you relax your ankle, your foot's just going to naturally turn just a tiny bit up.
Got it. Okay.
And it's all basically relaxing versus I'm going to do it and shove. If
shoving doesn't work.
Right. It just pushes your leg too far forward.
A lot of times if people have trouble getting the depth in that heel, I'll say, lift your toe.
Right.
So that you can drop your heel instead of kind of pushing the whole foot down in the stirrup.
Great thought.
Yeah, just changing the words a little bit. We had this discussion last week where somebody said, well, we want to raise the distance between more distance between your chest and the horse's neck. And another instructor said, we want to make the distance between your chest and your hands more. And just that
Nice.
change in saying so, it's the same thing. We want to, push your upper body away or whatever it is, but just using those two different things. So rather than pushing your heels down, pulling your toes up makes a difference in the way people kind of perceive things.
Mhm.
Just have to find whatever sticks.
Right. And that's why it's good to watch other people ride and listen from instructors, and because a lot of times we all are saying the right things, but the different ways we say it might connect with different people.
Exactly.
Right.
Just like swapping your diagonal, sitting for 2 beats. That's the way I was taught. And then I heard someone say, stand in your stirrups for an extra beat. And I thought, what?
Right.
Yeah. Same thing, different.
Correct.
30. I'd like to thank Jenny,
Thank you.
Jenny and Patricia for coming here with me today and talking about horsey related stuff. If you do have any questions, this is going to be, you can watch the replay on Equestrian Skill Builders on Facebook or on my YouTube channel. And we'd love to see you again next week. So thank you so much.
you.
Jenny, any final words, Jenny?
Keep riding, keep practicing, ride as many as you can a day.
Excellent. And how about you, Patricia?
Make sure you do at home what you're going to do in the shows. Don't
Very
go
good.
to a show without having practiced exactly what you're going to be doing. I'm not saying duplicating courses, but make sure that you're ready to go in the ring.
All right. Now go use this stuff and go hug your horse. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
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 Bye.